West Virginia is auditing every school in the state. I'm Ryan Hagan, and coming up next on WVU News, I'll tell you what that means for your local school.
I'm Anthony Pecoraro, and straight ahead on WVU News, I'll tell you what people throughout West Virginia will need to do this fall to be more cautious with fires.
I'm Rachel Charliff, and I'll show you how pennies on the dollar could mean dollars off of your next paycheck. Our award-winning WVU News starts now.
About 150 Americans die each year from allergic reactions to food. Coming up, what chemicals could be making your food allergies worse? I'm James Scott.
And I'm Kylie Putnam. With fall fire season starting up again, West Virginians need to follow certain safety guidelines or they could face legal consequences. You're watching WVU News, an award-winning newscast produced by television journalism students at West Virginia University. Although antibiotics are usually thought to help an illness, when they're in your food, they can be dangerous.
That's right, Kylie. Antibiotics given to animals used for food can cause serious adverse health effects. I found out more on some of these consequences. Antibiotic use in animal feed can cause a number of problems for us humans. Researchers estimate 15 million people suffer from food allergies in the United States, and that number is growing.
A lot of it can be hormonal, which can be changed through antibiotics that they put in the food and that sort of thing. I can't have things with preservatives in it.
Antibiotics are added to the food and drinking water of cattle, hogs, poultry, and other food-producing animals. This food can cause natural bacteria to become antibiotic resistant.
That's why it's getting harder for our bodies to fight off certain strains of bacteria and viruses, because we're essentially eating a lot of food items that have antibiotics already put into them.
In the United States, 80% of antibiotics sold are used to enrich animal feed. This mixture helps animals to grow larger, quicker.
Experts recommend shopping for organic food at the grocery store. You can also find organic food at your local farmer's market.
There you go.
Buying organic costs an average of 68% more than traditional food, but being mindful of your food source can help to improve your immune system.
About 2 million people in the U.S. are infected with antibiotic-resistant bacteria.
And 23,000 of those people die from these infections. This spring, forest fires burned nearly 10,000 acres in West Virginia.
With fire season starting up again, WVU News reporter Anthony Pecoraro joins us with tips on how to burn fires safely. Anthony?
Thanks, James and Kylie. Nearly half of the fires set this past spring were to burn debris, but these fires can quickly escalate out of hand. But the state of West Virginia has strict laws on how and where to burn fires. The hope is to keep people from irresponsibly setting fires that could cause extensive damage. I spoke with an official who says it's easy to stay safe while burning fires. According to the West Virginia Division of Forestry, last fall there were 140 fires reported throughout the Mountain State, and 51% of those fires were deliberately set. However, David White, who camps regularly throughout the year, has his own ways of staying safe.
If me and my friends are out camping and we're at a new area, we always look really hard for an established campfire pit.
Officials say the state requires a ring or safety strip around fires to keep a fire from spreading.
Fire is a tool, and properly used, a tool can be good. And in these cases, when you turn around and take the precautions that come with that, as you said, keeping your piles small, maintaining a water source in case something happens.
Officials warn that before leaving any fire unattended for any amount of time, the fire must be completely put out. If not, and the fire spreads, then the state has the right to charge the landowner for all the damages caused.
I think the most important of all is really when you leave, taking care of cleaning up your mess, making sure your fire is properly put out. Don't just throw your trash in it and walk away and stuff like that. That's how fires accidentally get started.
Fall forest fire season runs from October 1st through December 31st. During these 3 months, fires are prohibited between 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. For more information, visit the website at the bottom of your screen. James and Kylie, back to you.
While the Department of Forestry wants to keep you safe from fires, one local hospital is expanding to hold more patients and to keep them healthy. Construction crews are building a new 10-story unit on the front side of Ruby Memorial Hospital. The work has caused traffic headaches and confusion for patients, but officials cite overcrowding as the main reason for the necessary new addition. More patients also means more jobs. The buildings will add more than 100 new beds and create about 700 jobs. Construction should be finished by 2016.
The new hospital addition will help to keep your children healthy, and now the state of West Virginia wants to make sure they're also well educated.
And James, did you know that the West Virginia Department of Education is conducting audits of all schools in the state? Education reporter Ryan Hagan found out why one local school is looking forward to the audit.
It has a tail, right? So ready?
Monongalia County schools are the first to be audited under a new policy set by the Office of Education Performance Audits. Skyview Elementary School principal Jennifer Cox likes the policy change because now the state looks at all schools, not just those with poor performance.
Schools that were performing well never had the opportunity to show what they were doing, or were given the opportunity to say, hey, maybe you need to improve a little bit on something.
Cox says they were even excited to learn that they would be one of the first schools audited.
And we have resources that other counties don't have, being the university being here, having a good industry base. We have the opportunity to have, more technology, more outside agencies to support our school systems.
The Dominion Post reports that Monongalia County Superintendent Frank Devano says he has concerns about West Virginia's new performance-based school accreditation system. This method is patterned after a system originally used in Florida. It gives schools easily recognizable grades, A, B, C, D, or F. Local resident and great-grandmother of 4 Skyview students expects Skyview to rank highly because the school maintains a positive environment.
The people here are so friendly, and the children, they're just having such a good time.
In order to kickstart the process, the West Virginia Office of Educational Performance Audits will conduct on-site reviews of every school in the state, more than 700 within the next 2 years. Ryan Hagan, WVU News, Morgantown.
For years, women in the United States have fought for equal pay in the workplace.
While women in West Virginia still make less than men, one politician in the state is fighting to change that. Government reporter Rachel Charlap joins us now in the studio with more. Rachel?
Thanks, James and Kylie. Secretary of State Natalie Tennant spoke to WVU students recently and echoed what she's been telling Congress. Workers should be paid equal wages regardless of gender. I spoke to one West Virginia resident who's seen this inequality firsthand.
Women are out there trying to earn equal pay for equal work.
And earlier this month, the U.S. Senate determined that the struggle for paycheck equality would continue. West Virginia native Sam Scheimer was particularly impacted by this decision.
Whenever I found out that the bill was killed, it was just an absolute feeling of disgust.
Scheimer's strong feelings are a reflection of her upbringing.
I come from a single-parent household. I was raised by my mother, who makes half of what my father makes with the same amount of education. So that was really, really difficult, and it's all comes down to the financial situation I was born into because my mother's a woman.
The fight for equal pay between men and women in the workplace has been an uphill battle, especially for women in West Virginia, who still only earn 66 cents to every dollar earned by a man doing the same exact work.
West Virginia Secretary of State Natalie Tennant's visit to WVU highlighted this important issue.
We need to lift women up because many women are at the head of their households in West Virginia, and that's why it's so important to bridge that wage gap that we see for not just West Virginia women, but women all across the country.
But being raised by a single parent gives Scheimer a perspective that many people don't have.
I think what a lot of people don't understand is that whenever a woman is paid what she deserves to be paid, their family benefits from it.
Republicans are afraid that the bill would encourage frivolous lawsuits, making this the second time that paycheck equity has been blocked in the Senate since April. Natalie Tennant's next move toward getting equal pay for men and women is to run for the United States Senate. Either she or her opponent, Shelley Moore Capito, will become the first female senator from the state of West Virginia. Kylie and James, back to you.
A new female senator will make history in West Virginia, and one female athlete here at WVU is on her way to doing the same.
And coming up, WVU sports reporter Ryan Petrovich finds out how one Mountaineers international play is earning her recognition.
I'm Ryan Petrovich, and coming up on WVU News, I'll tell you why one of the women's soccer players is considered the best in 2 different countries.
We're all different. Our interests, our backgrounds can influence our futures. But without focus, they're just dreams. But what if someone could give your interests life? If they could give your background power? If they could fuel what motivates you? That's what gives dreams meaning, purpose. And perhaps that was the moment you knew you wanted to be a Mountaineer.
It's always impressive to see WVU athletes in the national spotlight for their talent.
It's even more impressive when a player crosses national borders and makes headlines everywhere she goes. Sports anchor Brandon Vansickle joins us with one story of a Mountaineer from abroad.
Thanks, James and Kylie. Sophomore women's soccer player Kadisha Buchanan came all the way to Morgantown from Brampton, Ontario in 2013, expecting to only play soccer here at WVU. What she didn't expect was the attention she'd get when playing on an international level for her home country. Sports reporter Ryan Petrovich caught up with that defender to tell us more.
Number 88, Kadisha Buchanan.
WVU sophomore defender Kadisha Buchanan is considered one of the best Division I college soccer players in the nation. She's not only considered one of the best here in the U.S., but also in Canada. Buchanan is a member of the Canadian national team and became an overnight celebrity after scoring a goal on United States goalkeeper Hope Solo in the senior international game.
It was crazy. It was actually unbelievable. I couldn't believe it, and I couldn't believe I scored on Hope Solo.
Over the summer, Buchanan played for another Canadian team. Buchanan wasn't alone this past summer. That's right, not 1, not 2, but 3. Of the West Virginia women's soccer players were represented in the U20 Canadian World Cup team this summer. Her focus is now on bringing WVU another conference championship as well as an NCAA championship. WVU head coach Nikki Izzo Brown has high hopes for her defender.
Keisha has no limits. She has no limits, and I think that everything that every coach talks about is so true with Keisha. She could be the best center back to ever play the game.
With numerous accolades to her name already, what's left to prove?
The awards that I got for a reason, and no award was given to me just because my name's Kadisha Buchanan. Like I work hard for all those accomplishments.
The Mountaineers claimed the Big 12 championship last season, and now as they've entered conference play, Buchanan and company will hope to win another. Ryan Petrovich, WVU Sports, Morgantown.
Buchanan has played in each of WVU's 12 games this season and is tied for second on the team with 3 goals. Kylie and James, back to you.
Thanks, Brandon. Mountaineers love to see their fellow students succeed.
That's right, and it was no different when WVU student Paige Madden competed for Miss America last month. Madden was named Miss West Virginia in June and went to Atlantic City in September for the Miss America pageant. Although she wasn't a finalist, she did meet her goal of gaining awareness for her cause.
Grandmother, Donna Madden, she's now deceased, but when she was living, she was a very influential advocate for domestic violence awareness in the state of West Virginia. Other than that, my mom was actually in an abusive relationship when I was in high school, and it was something I witnessed on a regular basis.
You can learn more about the Silence Hides Violence organization by going on the website at the bottom of your screen.
We're so proud of Paige, who was a television journalism student here at WVU.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of WVU News. You can visit us online at our website.
You can also watch any of our shows on YouTube, and please follow us and our reporters on Twitter. I'm James Scott.
And I'm Kylie Putnam. Thanks for watching WVU News. We'll see you next time.